Good morning students. In the previous session we have done the digital footprints and all. Now we are going to deal with the digital property rights in production. So what is digital property rights? As there is a multiple type of thread in the digital property, so there are many ways to protect our digital properties. First is an anti-tamper solution. Protective measures is second is a legal clause, and third is a limit of sharing a source code or software code. So that means whatever the task you have done, you should provide these measures, you should apply these measures to maintain or to save your data in regard with an IPR. Now licensing and copyright is the most important part. Whatever the task you have done, you should have a license or the copyright. The software is a license, is a legal permission to the right to use redistribution of the software. So whatever the software we are dealing with, these softwares is important that you should this software should allow the legal permission. So you can see a diagram over here. The software license provided, there are two ways to provide it. First is a proprietary license and second is a free and open source license. If it is a free and open source license, then there is one more criteria, that it's a copyleft license or the permissive license. So we'll discuss one by one. What is proprietary license? Exclusive rights to a software to retain within an owner, developer or publisher. They reserve all the freedoms and the rights to use and distribute the proprietary software. Now, apart from this, second is a free open source software. That means we can user can freely use those softwares. You can safely run, adapt and redistribute without legal constraint, because it is provided that it is a free open software. Now OSS, there are many OSS softwares are there, and that is FOSS, that is free open softwares are also there. Now the permissive license. What is permissive license? Which you can see here, the permissive license provide a royalty free license to do virtually anything with the source code. They are permitted using copying, modifying, publishing, merging and so on. So these concept given to these license given to a permissive license. Now what is copyleft license? In case of copyleft license, source code has to be provided. Distribution and the modification of the source code is permitted. For example, the journal public license has to be given, and the journal public license, in this case the license can be of, for example, GPL, that is lesser general public license. Sorry, it is not GPL, it is LGPL, the lesser general public license, or Mozilla public license. So these types of license can be provided. The next is a copyright. Copyright protects your software from someone else copying it using without your permission. So first of all, if you want to hold the software, when you hold the copyright to a software, you can make the copies of it, distribute it and modify it. Next is open source software. What is open source software? It is a certification mark given by the OSI, that is Open Source Initiative. So these softwares, the three important principles behind the open source software, or you can say open data, is availability and access, reuse and redistribution, and universal participation. Next is, you can see a diagram over here. Open data. What is that open data will do? The business reporting and the other business data comes under the open data. Then the large data set, public data set, bug data, open government data. So it is specified in a different criteria how can you use those data in which area. For example, you can see the public data from the state and local federal government is budget data. So this budget data is for the public users. Citizen engagement program comes under the open government data. So this is a part of an example how can you use it. Now next we'll go with the cyber crime. As we are dealing with the internet environment, we are living the digital environment, there is a cyber crime is one of the crime which involves with the computer and the network, which is readily in our environment. The computer may have been used in a commission of the crime or in the target. The cyber crime can be defined as offense that can be committed against the individual or a group of an individual. This comes under a cyber crime. It can be on internet, it can be a physical or a mental harm, or anything within a vicinity of an internet comes under this cyber crime. Now First part of the cybercrime is phishing. Now, what is phishing? Phishing, that means it is a part of a phishing. The concept is taken, that the term is taken from the English, from English only, but concept in this phishing is something else. So phishing is a cybercrime in which the targets are contacted by the email, telephone or text message by someone posing a legitimate institution to lure the individual or providing any sensitive data such as personally identified information. Now, what are the common features of phishing emails? For example, if you see these types of information: too good to be true, lucrative offers, and eye-catching and attention-grabbing statement. For example, there is a statement that there is an email that you are getting a 1 crore of rupees. So this is a lucrative offer. It cannot be possible. So this is a part of a phishing email, you can say. Sense of urgency. Sometimes some mails defines a sense of urgency that if you'll do today itself, then only you'll get this type of offer. These are super deals or limited offers comes under the phishing criteria only. Second is hyperlink and oblique attachment. Now, if you'll see, sometimes there super deals are given using hyperlink and attachment. When you click on this, you will get those offers. So don't do these. These offers are basically to catch these types of cyber crime. So better don't do this. Next is a hacking. So hacking is a process of intruding a computer system without authorization in order to gain access of them for good and bad purpose. In the other sense, the cracking is the same practice with a criminal intention comes under the cracking. So both hackers and crackers are not good, but with the mental the ethic, you can say a hacker is an ethical hacker, and non-ethical hacker is known as a cracker. So hacker use an extensive knowledge of the computer logic and code, while cracker looks the back door of the program and exploit those backdoors. Hackers break the computer system for the sole purpose of checking the whole system or rectify those system, but crackers breaks the security system for the criminal and illegal reasons for the personal gain. So you can say the hacker is an ethical one and cracker is a non-ethical. So criminal concept lies under the cracker basically. Now, what are the cyber laws? If you are dealing with so many cyber crimes, there are the cyber law which has been which has a legal system has been provided. So this comes under the cyber law, is a part of a over legal system, deals with an internet cyberspace and irrespective of the legal issues. Cyber law covers the broad areas of freedom of expression, access of usage of an internet, which is also known as a law of the internet. So importance in the cyber law is it covers all the transaction over internet. It keeps eyes on the activities on the internet. It touches every action and reaction on the cyber law. Now, what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is an harassment of the bullying executed with the digital devices like computer, laptop, smartphones and so on. So this cyberbullying is mainly involved in the humiliation of the person on the criteria on he or she is being considered. Now, in the cyber law, there is first is an Indian Act of 2000. This is an IT Act 2000. In this act notified on 17th October 2000, and the Amendment Act comes in the 2008. So these are some cyber electronic laws through which you can read it in the lessons also. So the act passed in December 2000 and came enforced in October 2009. Now, e-waste hazards. Now, most all the electronic waste comprise of toxic chemicals such as lead, beryllium, mercury, etc. It is an improper disposing of a gadget. So improper e-waste is recycling such as open burning, accidents. This is hazardous to us. Damage to immune system, skin diseases, multi-alignments, skin problems are there. So e-waste management is there. What you have to do is dismantling, separation of metal and plastic, refurbishment and reuse, recovery of the valuable materials and disposal of the dangerous materials. Awareness about the health concern related to use the technology. Today, the computer technology provides the people in many benefits, education activities. This can be designed and this can cause a end of the certain illness also, like neck strain, vision problems, sense of isolation, sleeping disorder, internet addiction, loss of attention problems, and so many things. So you should aware with this, without using this internet. You should use your internet safely and in a better way. So thank you all. This is what a image shown over here. This specifies everything that you have to use, or we have to use the safe internet usage in any of the criteria. It is email, chatting, social net, searching, downloading, and so on. You can see one part of the plagiarism, that the content where I have taken, I've written the sources over here. So sometimes it is better, not sometimes, it is better to use and write the sources from where you have taken. Thank you so much all.